Hi, welcome. This is 2023 now, and I know we said if we didn't get 100 subscribers we'd quit, so we're gonna morph and maybe try and focus on a niche instead of just, I don't know, wandering around in the darkness trying to fumble around figuring out where the light switch is. So, it's a lot of noise. We're gonna kick off the new year with a new video. We're gonna cross over into night mode, and I get to talk about a mistake I might have made in the last video. Right before Christmas, DJI blessed us with an update from up on high. But what did we get? Well, apart from the spotlight and point of interest mode now for the tele lens, we also got cruise control. But today, we're talking about night mode. We started off filming in D-Log. Now, the information I haven't included here is that the ISO is at 400 and the aperture is at 2.8. Which, interestingly enough, changes when you flip into night mode and you automatically start at ISO 800. We've graded the footage, but I've tried to keep the noise as minimal as possible, because what happens now with night mode is that whilst you're getting normal color profile-ish, it's being processed with a noise reduction filter before it hits your memory card. Therefore, you're not really getting the true representation, but the noise reduction software against doing it yourself in post-processing is pretty good. When flying at night, in night mode, the first and foremost thing to remember, there is no obstacle avoidance, so you must please fly with caution. Worth noting as well is one must keep line of sight with the drone, and this can be achieved by turning on the LED function. If you just give it a customizable button on your remote control, you can turn it on and off at your desire and therefore keep line of sight. With this new update, we have been given the opportunity to go from ISO 6400 to 12800, which is a huge jump up. Was it really needed? I'm not 100% sure. ISO 6400 is pretty spectacular as it stands, but it's always welcomed when we have the better functionality, and as you can see, it does make a huge difference even at the basic level of ISO 800. Another cool option is that we have the ability in 4K to record at either 24 frames a second, 25 frames a second, and of course 30 frames a second. And this is all because of a 4/3 sensor in the Mavic 3, meaning that it can collect light much better with a larger sensor size. To show you how good the 4/3 sensor is, I'll flip into Explore mode. As we zoom in further, you can see quite how powerful the 4/3 sensor truly is. And then we switch into the tele lens, and again, we can still get in quite close, even at night. So comparably, you can see how a 4/3 sensor outperforms the 1/2 inch on the tele lens. And that leads us to the next portion.
Shout out to Emilio Sid for raising the question in the last video.
Hey, what I gotta do is eat a bit of humble pie, because it turns out that whilst I was talking about the optical zoom and the digital zoom, it's actually a hybrid zoom. So there is no optics that move, so it can't be optical zoom. We still get the reward of being able to zoom up to 28 times. Now everything past 14 is pretty much garbage, but as I'll show you, it's good for spying or surveying. That's a better way of putting it. So for example, I'm able to zoom in without having to travel the distance to figure out what's going on, giving me a greater area with which to survey. So when you travel without moving, having that telephoto lens is really a blessing in disguise. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, keep us going. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks.